know it can be so frustrating to hear people talk about giving up Starbucks to save some money when you're already making iced coffee at home and have cut back on pretty much anything that you could think of. Hi friends, welcome back to the Avocado Toast Budget. If you're new here, my name is Lexa, and today we are going over ways to save some money when you feel like there's absolutely nothing left to cut from your budget. I've already made tons of videos about how to save money, even ways to save money on low income, but I know as someone who, when I first started off budgeting, I literally had like no money to my name, that sometimes those tips feel like, okay, but I've already done these things, so what else is there to do? So if you want some ideas on things to cut from your budget or just creative ways to go about saving some money when you're on low income or you are really living paycheck to paycheck and you feel like you've already cut everything out, this is the video for you. But of course I want to preface this by saying everyone's situation is different. Paycheck to paycheck living might look different for you. Cutting everything back might look different for me. And there is a chance that you've already thought of some of these things or done some of them. And if that's the case, if you really feel like there's nowhere to go, it might just be to the point that we need to look at ways to increase your income. So if that is where you are at, I definitely recommend that you check out this video here on my different accessible side hustles that you can do from home that hopefully will spark some ideas on ways that you can start to earn a little bit more money to help increase that gap between your income and your expenses. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Tip number one is to get on any family plan with friends or family that you possibly can. It is shocking how much less expensive it is when you group different things together than it is when you're just paying it separately. And a lot of times I viewed family plans as like literally only your family, but if you don't have family that you can get on a plan with, reach out to friends, see if you can join their plan or if you can start a new plan together. Tons of different services out there offer much better rates whenever you are grouping people together. Things like phone plans are a really good one. Spotify I know has a much better deal if you're on a family deal. And the same thing goes for buying items in bulk. Even if you don't have a big family that you live with, if there are friends or people or even just your coworkers that you all eat or consume similar things, see if you can just buy it in bulk and split it per person because it is going to be so much cheaper. And this tip is so nice because it doesn't actually involve you having to cut anything out of your life. It just might take a little bit more time and effort to set up at the beginning, but then you just get to reap the benefits of all those savings. Tip number two is to cut out store-bought cleaning products. When I got on like cleaning side of TikTok and YouTube, I was amazed at how much professional cleaners use just homemade, easy to make and find cleaning products. And most of them literally just include like Dawn dish soap and vinegar and water. I am pretty convinced that you could clean pretty much anything with just vinegar and water. Personally, one of my favorite YouTube channels for this kind of content is Clean My Space. She talks all about the products that she used and how she went about cleaning the most efficiently whenever she was a professional cleaner. And so many of her tips involve very cheap and easy to make just at-home cleaning products. Because holy fuck, I never noticed before becoming an adult just how expensive those name brand cleaning products are. And knowing that they do pretty much the exact same thing as just vinegar, water, and maybe a few other ingredients means that you can make a dupe for those same products at home for pennies on the dollar. The next thing that I would take a look at is how you are using single-use items. Of course, I want to preface this by saying I am pro using single-use items when they are accessible and necessary for you, and I don't think anyone should feel badly about that. And of course, number one priority is taking care of you and your mental and physical health. But if you are in the position where it is accessible, sometimes, most of the time, even just occasionally, to either reuse your single-use items or to invest up front in maybe a little bit more expensive at the beginning, but longer lasting reusable items, it can actually save you so much money. And my biggest tip for this is that it does not have to be anything expensive that you see on Amazon that seems so nice, but is a lot more expensive up front. Things like beeswax wrappers, I don't own one of those, but I just saw something about it on TikTok. Reusable makeup wipes or multi-use straws, I totally understand are way more expensive up front, even if technically cost per use over time, they might be more affordable. But you don't even have to invest in those at the beginning. If you are able to, things like just rinsing out your plastic bags, rinsing off your plastic straws, reusing the like plastic cups that you get from Starbucks if you want to like drink out of a plastic cup, will save you so much money than going out and purchasing those on your own. And keep in mind, if this is an accessible option for you, it does not have to be a long-term thing. In fact, nothing that I mention here has to be a long-term thing. This is all about just finding ways to cut back on anything that we can in order to save you some money. My fourth tip, if you are looking for ways to cut back, is to look at digital couponing. I talk about this more in part 1 and then also in part 2 of my couponing videos, because I hate the idea that couponing has to be tons of time and effort and you have to go full in head first just like those extreme couponers, because that is not the case. Even something as simple as downloading the CVS or Walgreens app and then every week just going through and clipping all of your coupons so that anytime that you go in there you do save some money can save you tons of money over the long run. I especially recommend, if you have not discovered the magic of Walgreens clearance yet, that you definitely look into that, because things at Walgreens, of course, if you're buying them full price, are usually more expensive than if you bought them at Walmart or another large supermarket or grocery store. But all of the time they have things going on clearance, and it's so easy to spot because they have these like bright orange tags on the front of them, and I see things for like 90-95% off all of the time. If you need more tips on how to figure out couponing, my couponing 101 video is all about like the easiest, most accessible way to start saving you some money using coupons, and I definitely recommend checking that video out. And my final tip number 5, is start assessing your budget and looking at your needs to see if they are really needs. One example I always like to use of this is Wi-Fi. Of course, if you are someone who works from home or in another way requires high-speed internet all of the time, then this might not be an accessible option for you. But I know my friends and tons of other people who have foregone paying for Wi-Fi for months on end and just using their mobile hotspot that they're already getting with whatever phone plan that they're on, and it has worked just fine. I have a friend whose husband plays video games. He was able to play video games on their hotspot and they had no issues at all. And that right there, depending on where you live and how much Wi-Fi is, could save you anywhere between like 40 and $100. Sometimes these like necessities that we think about as needs aren't actually needs depending on our lifestyle. We're just accustomed to that always being in our budget. So I definitely recommend that you sit down and look at those expenses and evaluate whether you really need all of those, if you could cut them out just for a little bit to save some money for a few months and then add it back in, or if there's a cheaper option for you. Something as simple as just giving your internet or phone company a call and seeing what deals that they have could actually save you $10, $20, $50, $100 a month. As just like an extra little tip in there, I do want to mention my favorite money saving apps. The first one is Get Upside. I love this app to help me save money on gas. Anytime I'm about to fill up, I just go in, click on the app, check and see who around is partnering with Get Upside, and a lot of times I get 5 to 15 cents back a gallon. It goes straight to your app and then you can just direct deposit that into your bank account, or you can redeem it for gift cards. I go like the PayPal direct deposit route. It's quick and easy and adds up so much over time. I'll have a link for Get Upside and all the other apps I'm talking about down in my description box. The second app that I want to mention is Fetch Rewards. It's so easy. It hooks up to your Amazon account, your email, or you can just quickly snap and scan receipts anytime that you buy something. It gives you points for every receipt that it scans. Plus, if you've bought products that are featured in the app at that point, you get extra bonus points. I love this app because while it might not save you the most money out of any of the cashback apps, it is one of the easiest. So I definitely recommend that if you're looking to not spend too much time or effort to save some money. You can get a bonus 2,000 points, which just equals like $2, using the link down in the description below. And speaking of easy cashback money saving apps, if you want literally the easiest, I recommend downloading Dosh and hooking up any card that you can. I believe they don't accept MasterCard. That might have changed recently, but any other card that I have, I link in the app. And then if I make a purchase at one of the retailers that is featured, it just automatically recognizes that when I make a purchase and gives me my cash back in the app. This is such a good way to save money with like just a little bit of effort up front, and then it just works for you in the background. If you want to save the most money at certain stores like CVS, DoorDash, I I think Hulu and Spotify are on there as well. I definitely recommend downloading Flues. I talked all about Flues, the benefits of it, exactly how to set it up here in this video. It remains one of my favorite cashback apps because it offers such great rewards that the other ones do not. Plus, you can actually use it to get multiple rewards at once. With Flues, you just buy a gift card for the amount that you are making your purchase for, and then it will automatically give you up to 30% cash back. I personally have all of these and use all of these on a very frequent basis, and I have found that I have saved hundreds, if not thousands of dollars over the course of the time that I've had them. I really hope that this video was helpful and it helped you to brainstorm some ideas on what you might be able to cut back, or just little tricks and tips for how to save yourself a little bit more money. If you enjoyed, please remember to give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm, helps boost this video to the top. That way more people can find this content. And I will see you all next time. Bye.